Ultimate Canva tutorial for beginners, the complete Canva guide. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys everything you need to know about Canva. Now, Canva is one of the world's most popular design tools out there, and it's popular for a reason. It's super easy to use and can be used in multiple different ways. Whether you're building a logo, creating documents, whiteboards, presentations, social media content, building brand kits, editing videos, building websites, and so much more. Canva does it all. So to get started with Canva, you can sign up completely for free, and we're going to be covering multiple different aspects of content creation using Canva. Now, once you have created your Canva account, this is what your dashboard is going to look like. So when you're navigating your dashboard on your homepage, you're going to find all these different options. Other than these different options, you're going to find a Canva panel on the left, and you can open up this menu bar. Once you do that, you can scroll down into projects. Now, whenever you create something on Canva, it automatically falls under projects, and you can categorize projects into folders to make it easier for you to view them. So I can click on Add New, and I can click on Folder. Once I do that, I can name the folder. Let's say this is going to be Bex, and then I'm going to click on Continue. Now, whenever I create designs that are related to the Bex project, I can add those designs into the Bex folder. Not only that, but you can even build courses with Canva. But we're going to do some of the Canva basics first, and then we're going to move on to more complicated features such as courses and websites. After that, you can also see a template section where you can browse different templates. You can see on the top they have templates based upon multiple different niches and categories. So if you're looking for business related templates, marketing templates, print product, or video templates, you can find all of those on Canva. Not only that, but you can follow certain creators. So these creators might have a certain aesthetic or a certain design field that you appreciate. You can follow those creators and take a look at what they are designing, and you can take inspiration and use their templates as well. Let's say I like this creator, I can follow them. Then on the left, you also have a certain graphics section. Within that, you can find different orientations, colors, and types of graphics. Canva has over 12 million graphics available. Below that, you have your brand kit section. Now, this is a really important section to navigate into. This is a premium feature, so you're not going to find this on the free version of Canva. However, brand kits can be a really important and useful tool, especially for content creation. So what exactly is the purpose of a brand kit? A brand kit allows you to build a certain design aesthetic and apply that throughout various designs on Canva. You can click on brand templates to build a template, as well as go into brand controls, where you can turn on restrictions. So those can be applied to a certain folder or a certain design, where only brand fonts are used, brand colors are used, or tools and assists are created, so it can allow members to get designs approved before publishing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating my own brand kit. To do that, we can click on Add New and add our brand kit name. Keep in mind you also have brand templates, and you can create a team that is working together on a certain brand. So you can click on Create Brand Template and build that template. This can include your own logo as well as images. But we're going to build a brand kit because we want to apply that throughout multiple different designs. So just click on Add New and name your brand. Let's say our brand is called Allison, and we're just going to click on Create. Once we do that, the first step is going to be to create a logo, and then to set a color palette, font, brand voice, photos, graphics, icons, and charts. You can simply drag and drop your logo here, and if you don't have one already, you can create one using Canva. Then below that, you select your colors and brand voice. This includes the way your brand should sound. So if your brand is a more professional brand, you might want a very sophisticated and eloquent voice. If your brand is more casual, you might want a more friendly tone of communication for your brand voice. Then you can include any images, graphics, icons, charts that are associated with your brand. Below that, you have the application section, and this is something a lot of people don't realize in Canva, is that Canva is integratable into things like Amazon Creators, MailChimp, Dropbox, Meta Design, and so many other popular tools. You can directly connect to all of these tools to direct post from Canva and schedule your content. Below that, you have Canva Dreamlab. Canva Dreamlab allows you to imagine items so you can create images with the help of AI. You guys can see these are certain images that we have created with the help of AI, and you can add an image to use for a image guidance. You can even select a certain style, which includes smart, cinematic, creatives, bouquet, macro, illustration, 3D renders, cinematic, fashion, moody, portrait, minimalist, sketch, stock photo, pop art, as well as a none style. When you select the none style, this applies any 4 styles that it finds the most appropriate according to your prompt. Going back into our home page, let's get started with our first Canva design. So for our first Canva design, I want to keep it simple, so I'm going to proceed with a logo. I can directly click on logo, but if I want my own custom size, I can click on custom size and enter my own width and height. Now, if you want to browse templates, you can go into the top search bar and then type for what you're looking to design. When you do that, you can browse all the different templates that are available. You guys can see there are so many different templates that are available on Canva, which can help you in designing a logo that fits your brand aesthetic. I'm going to create a blank logo so I can show you guys all the different features within Canva. Now on the top right, you're going to title your Canva logo. So let's say this is going to be for our brand Allison. Then on the top right, you're going to find your own profile icon. Then you can click on this plus icon to add multiple different people within Canva. So over here, we can add any team members or any other person that is working with us on this particular design or project. And from here, you can even choose their permissions. There are 3 types of permissions you can give someone whenever they are going to be using Canva with you. You can either give them the permission to edit, to comment, or just to view. You can also create a team with this person by switching to Canva Teams. Below that, you can also add an optional message and you can just click on share. Once I do that, the invite will be sent to that particular person, and once the invite is accepted, the pending invitation section is removed. Then you have analytics, and then you are going to see your current page and then your sharing options. Now, to get started with our design, we can click on the canvas and then click on the background color. You guys can see we have our brand kit and we can select the Allison one, but we haven't actually created that. So we're going to be using some random colors here. I'm just going to add some background color to make our canvas look. Now on the left, you have a design section. When you go into the design section, it can suggest certain styles, so certain color palettes, as well as templates. These templates are going to be shown to you based upon your previous interest. Then below that, you have an elements section. Within elements, it includes multiple different things. You have shapes, stickers, graphics, GIFs, videos, charts, tables, and photos, all included in elements. So any one thing that you want to add within a design is going to be labeled under elements. Then you have your text section, and you have certain basic text styles you can add. But if you scroll down below, you will see some font combinations and font color combinations that have been created by Canva. These font combinations are the combinations that have been tried and tested and have been found to be pretty nice and easy to use, and they are very effective in communication. Below that, you have your brand template as well as any of your own uploads. So if you want to upload your own videos, images, or your own audio for anything, you can upload that over here. You can also directly record yourself from the top white button. Below that, you have tools. So you have drawing tools such as different types of pens, markers, highlights, erasers, and then you have your projects and then applications that you can integrate. So from here, we are going to go into elements and we are going to search for, let's say I want to build Allison as a clothing brand. So I want to search for maybe scissors. And once I do that, I can click on see all, and I want something that is going to be very integrated within clothing. So I do want a dress to be a part of our clothing brand logo. And for that, I'm just going to include this, which I don't think looks very cohesive. I think I want something else. But for now, I'm going to go into text and we are going to scroll down. And we have multiple different apps that can build out our text as well. But I want to go with a pre-built font combination. So I'm going to go with this combination over here. And I'm going to type in Allison. And then after that, you guys can see, because of the way our text is labeled, I'm going to ungroup this. Then I'm going to move this up. Now what's ungrouping and how can you group items? So let's say I add some text and I set up a font. After that, if I want to add a tagline over top this text or underneath it, I can click on add subheading, okay? And this will create a blank text box. Now I'm going to type in Allison, house or established 2020, okay, 2020. And after that, I'm just going to place this over here. Now I'm going to click on effects and then I'm going to scroll down and then click on curve. Now the curve effect will be applied, but this curve is too extreme. I want the curve to be a bit less extreme. So if I scroll down, I can try out different levels of curvature, whether it's up or down, like so. And I think this looks pretty decent. Usually you want the midpoint to fall under the midpoint of your text. Then after I've done that, I'm going to click on the font and then change the font. I want this to be a very simple font, so I can search for simple over here. When you search for a font over here, this suggests a font accordingly. So I want something that is simple, but these are a bit too basic. I want something that does have a little bit of an edge, so we're gonna keep on going and we're gonna find a font that works well, and then I'm going to reduce the font size by clicking on the top right. Once I do that, I'm just going to place it over here, and once I place it over here, I think it looks decent, but the font still is not looking to my personal liking, and this looks nice. So once I've done that, I might want to group these items together because constantly moving everything like this is going to be quite a hassle. So if I want to move two elements together, I can click on them. Once I click on them, I can click on over here on these three dots. Then I can click on the group section, and now these are grouped. Now whenever I hold and move one of these items, both of them move together. And moving on, I want to integrate this scissor icon to represent like clothing and tailoring. So we're just going to place this at the center. Once we've done that, I'm going to place this over here, and I want this to stand out a bit more. So I'm going to change the color by clicking on the top, and then we're going to resize this icon over here. Then we're going to click on the right side. So we're going to do a right click. Then we're going to go into layers and bring this to the front. Again, something is a bit missing. So if I want my checked out or strike through to be applied only to the first letter or to the second letter, what I can do is I'm going to ungroup this for now, and I'm going to select the text and do Command C, Command V. Then I'm going to place the text right on top of the first element. And what you're going to do is you're going to double click on your text, and this text is placed ahead of, the strike through. So like so. And that text is behind the strike through. If you do this, this is going to move your text. So what you actually have to do is we are going to click on the right, like so. Go into layers and click on show all layers. Select the text that is placed underneath. Then within that, so within our text that is underneath, we can remove one letter, like so. Then I'm going to place this on top. And now the strike through is not throughout all of your texts, it's only throughout the first letter. This is up to personal preferences and how you want to design. Now Canva has a lot of different applications to simplify this process. If you go directly into text over here and scroll down, you can see some of their suggested lettering tools, including type gradient, type craft, as well as type lettering and type cutout. And if you go into elements and search for a certain letter, like so, you will see different graphics. Now, if you want to look for similar graphics, you simply select that graphic, click on See All under Magic Recommendations, and usually people have created the entire typography using that particular style. I'm going to delete this because I do want a simpler logo, and this does not actually work well with our color scheme and logo scheme. So from here, I'm just going to click on Share. Once I click on Share, I can click on Download. Once I click on Download, I can download this as a JPEG, PNG, PDF, SVG, MP4, GIF, or PPT. Then after that, you can even limit the file size as well as compress your file for lower quality. Then you also have transparent backgrounds. I'm going to only check this option because I only want a transparent background, so the background of that is removed. And from here, we have designed our logo. Now, these are all the basics of Canva Design. Canva has so many more powerful design features. So if we are building a presentation, we're just going to search for presentation over here, and you will see there are so many amazing presentation templates available. Now, within your presentation templates, if we take a look at any template, let's say we have this creative portfolio here. Now, if I want to demonstrate 4 different points together, or I have 4 different elements that I want to include, what I can do, and I'll just show you guys how that works. I'm going to delete some of the elements, go into elements here, click on shapes. I'm going to create a square shape. Then I'm going to search for paper, click on See All. and we're going to add this paper look. I'm going to place the paper here, and I'm going to place this on top. So I'm going to click on layer, click on bring to front, resize this on top of this, and I might want this to be like a different color, so I'm going to go with a pink color, scroll down, go into like this. If I want it to be bright white, I can do that as well. So I'm going to place these over here. Then I'm going to click on group and then click on Command C and then Command V, Command C and then Command V. After that, I am going to be cleaning up these elements and spacing them evenly. So we're just going to do Command C, Command V 4 times. But you guys can see now my elements are too large to fit in horizontally. But if I want them to fit in horizontally, I'm just going to select them together and then I can resize them like this. But still, they don't look very neat. So just select them together once more. And once you select them together, you can click on the 3 dots, click on space evenly, and then click on tidy up. This tidies up your elements and places them in a really nice way. Once you've done that, you can type in text or whatever you want. Additionally, if you click on these elements and you click on align elements, you can align them to the center, you can align them to the left, but keep in mind all of them would be aligned together. If you don't want them to be grouped together like they were just grouped together, you can just select them all together, click on these 3 dots, and then you're going to click on group. Now, if I click on align to page and click on center, currently these are already aligned to the center. So if we click on align to page, we can click on middle. So all of these have been moved to the middle of the page, like so. Now, within your presentations, you might also want to include transitions and movements within elements. So you can click on add transition, and once you click on a transition, you can see you have different transitions including dissolve, slides, circle wipe, color wipe, line wipes, flow, stack, chop, and my personal favorite is the match and move. Now you can really enhance your presentations with a match and move element. So it basically tries to match the next page and tries to move it accordingly. Now within this, we can also see that if we select a transitional style, let's say the transition style I select is match and move, we can choose the duration and click on apply between all pages, and this will be applied throughout all of your pages during a presentation. Not only that, but if you want your presentations to play on autoplay, you can click on the edit timing section on the top right. You can select the timing for each slide individually or select a standard timing, click on apply to all pages, and this will be applied throughout all of your pages. Now within presentations, you have a lot more things you can including videos. You can click on elements and then search for any type of video you want. I'm just going to search for creative, then click on videos over here. Once I click on videos, I can select the type of video I want to include, like this, and the video will do autoplay. But if you want to customize the settings of the video that is included within each slide, you can select the video. Then on the top right, you can see the speed as well as the playback. You can play it automatically and choose to play it on repeat as well. I'm just going to remove this video because it doesn't fit with our presentation. Now within videos, you can also include audio, shapes, mockups, as well as different creative elements and frames. Now, what's the purpose of a frame? Well, let's say this image is a square image, but I want it to look a bit different. For that, I can simply go into elements. I'm going to search for blob. Once I search for blob, I can click on frames, and this will show me different frames that I can resize my image into. This makes your images look far more creative and interesting. So I'm going to go with a squarish type of frame, like this one, and then place your image into the frame. So once you place it, you can click on layer, click on bring to front, and then place it on top of, this image already had a frame, which is why it was not disconnecting. I'm going to place this over here, and then I'm just going to search for a woman and style, and we're just going to take any image that we can find as a placeholder like this. And you guys can see now the image has been placed. Now if I do a double click on the image can be moved, and I can choose to display the part of the image that I want. If I resize this blob, again, the proportions are basically going to remain the same as well. Now, if you want to include individual elements that are moving within your presentation, let's say we have this butterfly and I want to make my presentation more interesting, or any element of my Canva design more interesting with the form of movement. I can click on any type of animal or element or anything that you want to include movement in. Once you select that, what you're going to do is you're going to see a tab on the top. So you can click on these 3 dots, and if you scroll down, you will see the option to animate, or you can see the option to animate on the top. Within that, you have two types of animations. You have page animations and then you have photo animations. You're going to go into photo animations and you have different types of photo animations. So you have these add-on effects to rotate, flicker, pulse, and wiggle any image. You also have photo flow, but these types of animations are honestly only for slide changes. If you want to create some interesting type of animations, then what you can do is click on create an animation. Now I can drag my butterfly across like this, like so. I'm building a really long path simply because I want to show you guys what it looks like. And this is going to have the original movement style. You're going to click on smooth and steady, and you can see the speed. Now the speed for this is a bit too quick. You can choose the presentation settings, and then I'm going to delete this path and rebuild it. I'm just going to build it like this, and this is the current path. We can choose the speed. We can orient the element like this, and then I'm going to make it steady like this. And just like that, you can create animations and movement within presentation slides. Now, once we click on present, we can present. We even have a presenter's view, a present and record option, and then a autoplay option. Your presenter view allows you to see any notes that you've put in your presentation, and your present and record option allows you to record your presentation. Now, these are some of the intermediate level tools within Canva. If we want to move further, we can go into website creation. But before we do that, let us explore some of our AI-based tools. So if we go into apps on the left, we can search for magic media. Let's say I'm looking for some type of image and I cannot find it. I can go into images and graphics or videos under magic media, and I can generate that image or graphic or video. Let's say I want a cute butterfly in a vintage color scheme. And then I'm just going to wait until the graphic is designed. So depending on how complicated your prompt is or how burdened the magic media system is, your prompt will be executed. Sometimes it can take a bit longer than expected, but sometimes it can be very quick. And you guys can see it has generated different variants of the butterfly. And I really like this one, so I can just select that. Whenever you generate something with magic media, it automatically is sent into your upload section, so you can find it later on as well. So if you like any of these, you can later on use them within your designs. And if I click on this one, you guys can see the colors on this are changeable. You can see all of the colors on the top, and I can customize them accordingly. Let's say I want to make it in one color scheme. I'm going to do a really dark pink. Then I'm going to select the second color, and I'm going to select it to be the same color. Then I'm going to make it slightly lighter. And the third color like this, select the same one, make it lighter like this. Then the fourth one, again, I'm basically doing the same thing over and over again, like so. And then our final color is going to be added like this. And just like so, we have created, a different color scheme for our image. Now, going back, let's go into our homepage on Canva. Now, whenever you create a Canva design, it is automatically saved, so you don't have to worry about saving it over and over again. Canva has autosave to save your design on the web. But if you want to download a presentation, you can download it in the form of a PPT or a PDF. Keep in mind that animations are removed within the PDF variant, and you also have to keep in mind that Canva Elements are not as nicely integrated within PowerPoint presentation. So your presentation visually might look a bit different when you open it in a PPT. So it is actually recommended that you click on share, click on public view link, and build a public view link to view your presentation publicly. Whoever you share this particular link with can view your presentation. You can click on your access level and choose different types of access levels and different permissions. So anyone with the link can view, if they can comment, or if they can edit. I only want myself to have access, or I want anyone with the link to be able to view, and then I can click on copy link and share this link. Or you can click on more and then click on present and record, or scroll down to save this in your Google Drive, download selection, PowerPoint, Dropbox, or Microsoft OneDrive as well. You also have different socials applications integrated within Canva. So you can directly post on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or any other type of social media. Now going back into our final feature on Canva, which is website design. Now Canva has recently upgraded their website design tool, which now allows you to create multiple page websites. You can simply click on website to create a blank page. Once you do that, you can see on your top right, you're going to type in your website title like so. Once you do that, you can see on the left you have several different templates. Within templates, you have premium templates, free templates, and you have several niches. Let's say I am looking for a template for a portfolio. I can simply search for portfolio and you can see several different portfolio templates. Let's say I'm searching for a business website template. I can search for business and I will see different business website templates. You can even go into styles and use a simple layout to start designing. Now, for today, we're going to be using a template. So I want to use something that's not too heavy visually, that's easy to look at. I think I want to just go into portfolio, creative. And I'm going to just take a look at all of these ones. I like this one, so I'm going to click on apply all 7 pages. Now, this has applied all 7 pages, but I want to change my pages and the featured work section should be a separate page. So I'm going to click on add page over here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this section, which is the my work section, and directly paste that over here. Then I'm going to click on add section, and then select the second section that I'm copying, go into page number 2, go into section number 2, page number 2, and paste it here. And I'm just going to delete them from here because I do not want my featured work to be displayed directly on my home page like this. And then for my experience page, I want it to be separate as well. So I'm going to delete it, go into a third page, paste in my experience, and then a get in touch section. From here, I'm going to label each page. So for that, you can go into each individual page and you're going to label them. And you can click on publish website on the top right to start publishing your website with a free domain. And you can edit the elements within your website just as you were editing your presentations or your logos. So website building has become simpler with the help of Canva. And we can proceed with creating our website. Now, from here, we can also edit images. So we can delete the image and place it in this frame, or we can delete the frame, go into elements and search for the type of frame that we are looking for. So if we are looking for arches, we can search for arches here, click on see all, and then we can place the type of arch that we want. We can resize it accordingly as well. And just like that, we can use Canva to its fullest potential for different types of designs, whether you're building a website, creating presentations, or social media content. The best part is that Canva is available for free and only for $6.50 per month for one person. You can use all of their pro features, including 140 million photos, videos, and graphics, 1 terabyte of cloud storage, easily resizing and creating images, removing backgrounds, and so much more. And you can get a free trial for Canva as well. You also have Canva Teams, which is $5 per person, but there's a minimum of 3 people that need to be on your team for you to get started. You can save $16 with yearly billing, so you can only pay $55 per one person for a year for Canva Pro. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.